Drake is done for. Not struggling, not going through a phase. We're talking career in freefall, timeline in flames, fans abandoning ship levels of disaster. While Kendrick Lamar's gripping Grammys like souvenirs and J. Cole just dropped the album the entire internet's been begging for, Drake leaked 2 snippets that might be the most desperate, embarrassingly transparent, pathetically timed bars of his entire career. And the internet is destroying him for it. Everybody thought they knew the script for 2026 Drake, the Iceman Era. Cold, calculated, moving in silence while the world guesses his next chess move. That's the image his team rammed into every blog, every whisper, every inside source leak. The mythology was set. Drake was supposed to rise from the ashes of that Kendrick beef, like some untouchable villain. But then, the snippets hit. 2 little audio clips, barely a few seconds each, slid into the timeline like landmines. And overnight, that whole Iceman mythology didn't just crack, it shattered into a million pieces. Now the narrative's twisting in real time, and what people are saying about Drake right now, it's darker than anything we've seen before. Let me break down exactly what happened, because the timing of this whole situation is insane. February 2026. Clock hits midnight. The fall off finally drops. J. Cole's legendary mythical It's Coming project turns into reality after years of anticipation. Nearly 2 hours of bars, pain, growth, evolution, the type of album fans call career-defining before they even finish track 5. The whole internet is locked in. Threads are ready, streams are queued, Twitter's about to explode. Cole's supposed to get his clean victory lap. And then, Drake slides into the feed like a glitch in the Matrix. 2 brand new snippets, dropped in the exact same 24-hour window, timed with surgical pettiness to split through Cole's moment and split the entire conversation. Not accidental, not random. People online are calling it a straight attention hijack. Think about it. You wait years for an artist to drop their magnum opus, the album that's supposed to cement their legacy. And another artist, who's supposedly above it all, drops leaked material at the exact moment to fracture the spotlight. That hits different. But here's the fatal flaw that's got the internet in absolute chaos right now. The music itself not only failed to land, it backfired spectacularly. One snippet takes aim at Not Like Us. Yes, that Not Like Us. The 2024 nuclear bomb Kendrick dropped that cooked Drake in front of the entire planet. That record didn't stay a diss track. It became a festival chant, a club anthem, a summer anthem. Played at parties, at protests, at the NBA Finals, the soundtrack to Drake's most public L in history. 2 years later, Drake is still clawing at it. In the leaked line, he raps, "I don't look nothing like y'all, you right about that. You act like we want to be you, instead that's when I'd rather be not here." Let that sink in. That's it. That's the bar the internet waited 2 years for. 2 years of licking wounds, 2 years of "trust me, I'm cooking." 2 years of silence that was supposed to mean he was crafting the legendary rebuttal that would restore balance to the culture. And the grand reveal sounds like something typed half awake in a notes app the same week he dropped The Heart Part 6. Fans online turned into investigators immediately. They're slowing down frames, looping the audio, dissecting every syllable like it's a crime scene. One tweet goes viral in hours. Drake spent 2 years thinking about Kendrick and came back with this? Another reads, "This man really waited until J. Cole's album dropped to leak mid. That's insane." The clips are everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit threads breaking down every word. People are comparing classic Drake, the Take Care Drake, the Nothing Was Saying Drake, to whatever this new, bitter, scattered voice is. The effortless dominance? Gone. What they hear now is a man who sounds boxed in, confused, haunted by a battle he already lost. And somehow, the second snippet hits even worse. Now let's get into the motive, because this is where everything starts clicking into place. Drake pivots from "I'm unfazed" to full-blown martyr complex in the second snippet. He raps about being betrayed, unappreciated, undervalued, labels turning on him, fans not recognizing his greatness. "Don't call me no greatest. Them guys you saying, oh, great's that an understatement. Them haters, double agents, even my label, I gave them 15 years of my soul." You can hear it in his voice, that cracked glass tone of a man begging the world to see him as a victim instead of a loser. And here's where the internet conspiracy board goes into overdrive. Because J. Cole, he's been floating through freestyles for months, dropping lines about artists handing their souls to labels, selling pieces of themselves for checks and fake power. He never says Drake's name directly, but fans swear the crosshairs are there. So what does Drake do? He tries to snatch that narrative and spin it back on Cole. But instead of sounding like a fearless villain reclaiming his throne, he sinks deeper into woe is me territory. This isn't villain mode, this is cupcake mode, the audio equivalent of someone flipping tables while crying that they're the real victim here. Let's keep it real. Drake went from being the guy who could drop a feature and break the internet to the guy who's dropping snippets that get roasted in real time. That kind of fall off hits different. And the timing is what turns this from sad to straight up sinister, because this didn't feel random. It felt orchestrated, calculated, but not in a powerful way and a desperate way. According to multiple fan threads and insider accounts circulating online right now, this whole rollout wasn't some emotional impulse. People are saying it was a planned sabotage attempt on J. Cole's moment. Here's what allegedly went down. Drake's camp reportedly knew the exact hour the fall-off would hit streaming weeks in advance. DJ Akademiks, long painted online as Drake's unofficial hype machine, goes live minutes before Cole's drop. On that stream, he premieres one of the first full-on rapping records from the Iceman Era, like a preemptive strike. The theory? This was a coordinated move to fracture the spotlight, to make sure the trending page couldn't be all Cole all night, to inject new Drake into every conversation, whether the music deserved it or not. But it goes brutally wrong. The record Akademiks plays, chat logs and clipped reactions show viewers torching it in real time. Comments flooding. This is what we waited for? Cole's album about to watch this in 10 seconds. Bro's stuck in 2024 and it shows. Screenshots of the stream start circulating everywhere. People clip Akademiks nodding along while the chat calls it mid. Memes spawn of Drake rapping into a void while Kendrick and Cole stand on a mountain of trophies. Put all that together, the leaked snippets timed to Cole's drop, the Akademiks premiere, the bars still obsessing over Kendrick, it looks like the perfect recipe for a career implosion disguised as a comeback. And it gets worse for Drake, because behind the scenes, sources close to studios and label circles start allegedly whispering the same nightmare phrase: the Iceman album might be a disaster. But here's the part that really hits different when you step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about leaked snippets or bad bars. This is about watching an artist who once dominated the entire culture spiral in real time. Drake used to be the guy who defined what it meant to run the game. Every album was an event. Every feature was a coronation. Every tweet moved markets. And now he's leaking his own music to try and stay relevant during someone else's moment. That's somebody's favorite artist, and they're dealing with the trauma of watching him fall apart over a situation he can't let go of. Fans who grew up on Take Care are in the comment sections looking genuinely sad. Not angry, sad, because they're watching the decline happen in slow motion and there's nothing they can do to stop it. One comment that's been circulating reads, "I don't even hate Drake. I just feel bad watching this. He used to be him." Another says, "This is like watching your favorite athlete refuse to retire. Just stop, bro." The leaked footage of reactions shows people wincing, not laughing, wincing, like they're watching something painful they can't look away from. You can see it in their faces, the secondhand embarrassment, the disappointment. That's messed up, because this isn't some random artist flaming out. This is Drake, the same Drake who gave us Marvin's Room, Tuscan Leather, and 0 to 100. The same Drake who had the entire industry in a chokehold for over a decade. And now he's reduced to leaking bars about how his label doesn't appreciate him, while Kendrick's performing at the Super Bowl, and Cole's getting universal acclaim for an album that's already being called a classic. The emotional weight of that, it's heavy. Fans aren't just watching a beef, they're watching the end of an era. And the saddest part, Drake doesn't seem to realize it yet. He's still fighting battles from 2024 while the culture moved on without him. That kind of disconnect, that refusal to accept reality, it's not just career suicide, it's tragic. Now, this whole situation gets even crazier when you realize the layers to this disaster. Because it's not just about the snippets themselves, it's about what they represent. Let me break down the evidence that's got the internet convinced Drake's entire Iceman era is built on quicksand. First, the production quality. Fans who've been analyzing the leaked audio say it sounds unfinished. Rough mixes, placeholder beats, vocals that aren't fully processed. One producer who allegedly worked adjacent to Drake's camp said, "These snippets sound like reference tracks, not album cuts." That's a problem, because if Drake's team is leaking unfinished material just to stay in the conversation, what does that say about the state of the actual project? Second, the lyrical content. Online detectives have been cross-referencing Drake's bars with J. Cole's recent freestyles, and they're finding what looks like direct responses. Cole raps about artists selling their soul for a check and some clout. Drake fires back with, "I gave them 15 years of my soul." Cole talks about moving in silence while the loud ones crash. Drake leaks snippets during Cole's album Rollout. The pattern is there, and it makes Drake look reactive, not proactive, like he's constantly playing defense instead of offense. Third, the fan reception. Spotify streams for the Akademiks premiere? They're not matching the hype. Social media engagement? Mostly negative. Sentiment analysis tools that track online reactions show approximately 73% of mentions are critical or mocking. That's a brutal ratio for someone trying to stage a comeback. Compare that to J. Cole's The Fall Off, which is sitting at around 89% positive sentiment, and you start to see the gap widening in real time. But wait, it gets even worse, because people online started digging into Drake's recent public appearances, and they're noticing something disturbing. His body language, his energy, the way he carries himself. Fans are comparing footage from his 2023 tour, when he still had that swagger, that confidence, to recent paparazzi shots and leaked studio videos. And they're seeing a man who looks tired, defeated, like he's going through the motions. One viral TikTok does a side-by-side comparison. 2023 Drake, smiling, animated, commanding the stage. 2026 Drake, hunched shoulders, forced smiles, avoiding eye contact. The comments are brutal. He looks like he hasn't slept in months. This is what happens when you can't let go of a loss. Bro is haunted. And honestly, they might be right. Because when you listen to those leaked snippets again, when you really pay attention to the tone in his voice, you don't hear an artist who's moved on. You hear someone who's stuck, replaying the same trauma, trying to rewrite history instead of making new history. And the culture can feel it. TMZ just dropped a report saying Drake's team is allegedly scrambling to control the narrative. They're reportedly reaching out to influencers, trying to spin the snippets as strategic leaks instead of desperate moves. But the internet's not buying it because the music speaks for itself. And what it's saying is, Drake is not okay.
Meanwhile, while Drake's melting down in real time, let's talk about what's happening on the other side of this story, because the contrast is stark. Kendrick Lamar just swept the Grammys. Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Rap Album. He's on stage giving speeches about artistry and integrity, while Drake's leaking snippets about being undervalued. The optics, catastrophic for Drake. J. Cole's The Fall Off is being hailed as a return to form. Critics are calling it the most complete rap album of the decade. Fans are dissecting every bar, every reference, every hidden meaning. And Cole's not even mentioning Drake directly. He doesn't have to, because his success is the loudest statement he could make. While Drake's begging for attention, Cole's earning respect. And that difference, it's everything. But let's keep it real. This isn't the first time we've seen this pattern with Drake. Think back to 2018, the Pusha T beef. Drake got bodied, publicly, brutally. And how did he respond? By trying to move on quickly, by dropping Scorpion and flooding the market with content. It worked temporarily, because Drake still had the machine behind him. The hits kept coming, the features kept landing. But something shifted after Kendrick's Not Like Us, because that wasn't just a diss track, that was a cultural moment. It wasn't something Drake could just outlast. It stuck. And now, 2 years later, he's still trying to wash it off. That's the difference between a regular beef and a legacy-altering one. Pusha exposed Drake's personal life. Kendrick exposed Drake's artistic credibility, and you can recover from the first one. But the second one? That's permanent damage. Fans online been working like full-blown investigators trying to figure out what Drake's next move could possibly be. Some think he'll scrap the Iceman album entirely and start over. Others think he's too deep in to turn back now. A few optimists believe he'll pull off a miraculous pivot and deliver something that redeems him. But the majority, they think it's over. One Reddit thread with over 15,000 upvotes is titled, "Is Drake's run as a top-tier rapper officially done?" The top comment reads, "It's been done. We're just watching the funeral procession now." That's dark, but it's also where the conversation is. And the more Drake tries to force his way back into relevance, the more he proves everyone's point. Because real legends don't have to leak snippets to stay in the conversation. They just drop the music and let it speak. Drake's doing the opposite. He's talking about the music before it's ready, teasing it, hyping it, leaking it, and when it finally arrives, it's underwhelming. That's not how you stage a comeback. That's how you confirm your decline. And this story is still unfolding with way bigger implications than just one artist's career trajectory. What we're seeing here is how the internet has fundamentally changed the game for legacy artists. You can't just coast on past success anymore. You can't drop mid and expect your name to carry it. The culture is too fast, too critical, too unforgiving. Drake built his empire in an era where streaming numbers and chart positions could mask artistic decline. But we're in a different era now. An era where fans have access to everything. They can compare your new work to your old work instantly. They can see through marketing tactics. They can call out desperation in real time. And once the narrative shifts against you, it's almost impossible to shift it back. The bigger conversation here is about legacy, about knowing when to evolve and when to step back. Drake's situation is a cautionary tale for every artist who thinks they can stay on top forever without adapting. Because the culture doesn't owe you anything. Not loyalty, not nostalgia, not a comeback. You have to earn it with the music. And right now, Drake's music isn't earning anything except criticism. When you constantly try to hijack other people's moments, when you can't let go of past beefs, when you leak unfinished material just to stay relevant, you're not just hurting your brand. You're unintentionally showing everyone that you've lost the plot. Drake's situation is a wild example of this, but it's also a warning for anybody in the industry watching. The more you cling to past glory, the more you resist evolution, the faster the culture will move on without you. And once they move on, they don't come back. We're watching it happen in real time. Drake went from being the biggest rapper in the world to being a cautionary tale in less than 2 years. That's how fast it can all fall apart. And the saddest part, it didn't have to be this way. If Drake had taken the L from Kendrick, stayed quiet for a year, came back with a truly transformative project, he could have written a different story. But instead, he chose to fight a battle he already lost. And now, he's losing the war. So where does this leave us? What's the end game here? Because the internet is buzzing with theories about what comes next. Theory 1, Drake scraps the Iceman album entirely. He realizes the rollout is a disaster, cuts his losses, and disappears for a while to regroup. This is the smart move scenario, but it requires humility. And based on these leaked snippets, humility doesn't seem to be in Drake's vocabulary right now. Theory 2, Drake doubles down. He releases the album anyway, despite the negative buzz, and hopes the music speaks for itself. This is the kamikaze scenario. High risk, potentially career-ending if the album is actually as mid as people fear. Theory 3, Drake pivots to a different sound entirely, abandons the Iceman concept, admits it wasn't working, and tries something completely new. This is the Hail Mary scenario. It could work, but it would require Drake to admit he was wrong. And that's not something he's shown any willingness to do. The speculation is running wild. Some fans think Drake's team is already in crisis mode. Others believe he's too far gone to save. A few diehards still think he'll pull off a miracle. But the consensus? The Iceman Era is melting before it officially began. And what's left behind? A puddle of desperation, leaked snippets, and a legacy that's rapidly eroding. The darker theory brewing online right now, Drake actually doesn't want to be the villain. He wants the aesthetic of being the villain, the memes, the think pieces, the I don't care who hates me energy, without the ruthless music to back it up. So when he hijacks J. Cole's rollout, when he still pokes at Kendrick 2 years post-funeral, fans don't see a fearless competitor. They see a man spiraling on the timeline, trying to force himself into a conversation that moved on without him. And the scariest part for Drake, the more he drops, the clearer one brutal narrative gets repeated everywhere. Drake's era as a serious rap competitor is dead. Stay locked in because this story is about to get even crazier. More details dropping, more clues surfacing, and reports say Drake's team is allegedly planning a major announcement in the coming weeks. Whether that's damage control or a genuine pivot, we'll have to wait and see. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Drake can recover from this? Or is his run as a top-tier rapper officially over? And do you think the Iceman album will even drop at this point? Or is it getting scrapped? Make sure you like the video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Because we're covering every twist, every leak, every meltdown that comes out of this situation. I appreciate you for rocking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, and remember, the internet never forgets, and it definitely doesn't forgive.